This is a PokePress Mailbag.
Hi, I'm Stephen Reich with our last set of questions for this mailbag. Our first one is from TommyMan99. He says, I'm turning 18 very soon and want to start a Pokemon TCG League in my area with a group of friends at a Toys R Us that used to have one around 10 years ago when Pokemon was in its prime. Do you have any advice, tips, and or suggestions when running a league? Well, I can't speak obviously to whether the Toys R Us will let you run a league there. I'm not sure what their policy is. You can also try any hobby or card stores, comic book stores, those types of places, even libraries. One thing that I am going to suggest is that you go to the website I mentioned in a previous video, pokegym.net, go into the forums, look for the Tournaments and Organized Play forum, and then there's a sub-forum just for leagues. You'll see a guide to running a league, and you can also post a thread to look for some people to help you more locally to see if you can start a league there. It's a great resource, and there are lots of nice people there, so I really recommend you check that out. Our second letter is from Arcader34, who says, I was talking with last year's junior winner and his family, and his parents said that they wanted to go to Japan because there was apparently a permanent Poke Park established there. Is that true? No. Back in 2005, there was a sort of mini theme park called Poke Park that was in Japan. It was actually taken out to Taiwan in 2006. Basically what it was, there was a couple of Pokemon-themed rides you could go on, themed after several of the movies and whatnot. Now, what he may be thinking of is the 6 Pokemon Center stores there are in Japan, as opposed to the half of one we have here in America at the Nintendo World Store in New York. Those are stores specifically to sell Pokemon merchandise, and that's all they sell. So that may have been what he was thinking of, but no, there's no Pokemon permanent theme park in Japan, nor have there been, as far as I know, any plans to reintroduce the temporary one. So, Aura Shatiria 108 says, do you ever find that working on PIRN is ever problematic, given the expenses and time put into it? And have you ever managed to interview, meet a high-profile Pokemon staff member, etc., such as Junichi Masuda, the director of Pokemon, etc.? I've only interviewed Pokemon USA or Pokemon Company Limited employees a couple times. Once was at Gen Con 2003 when I interviewed then employee Jim Receiverson when Pokemon USA was taking over the card game. You can actually see that on my channel, and I'll put a little link in this video to it. The other one was back in 2005 at the Pokemon Rocks America in Chicago. I got to interview one of the people from Pokemon USA about Pokemon Rocks America, what it was and what its purpose was. And I interviewed another person regarding the recently released XD Gale of Darkness game. I'll try and get that up on the channel sometime when I have a chance to dig it out. But it's really, my opinion, and no offense to them, they're not necessarily, Pokemon USA or event staff are not necessarily the most interesting people to talk to. Like I said, no offense to them, they're great people. But I think the better stories are actually from the players and the fans rather than the staff members. As for how is it problematic, well, I do spend a fair bit of money on the station, both in terms of, my package at Live 365, as well as, of course, importing music is kind of expensive. And I do put a fair bit of time. It takes me usually about an hour to totally shift out the tracks on Monday night. And I spend probably about at least half an hour every day adjusting the Monday through Thursday night playlist, the instrumental and the remix playlists, as well as the top 25 playlist, and then just shuffling the tracks around each night. So there is a substantial investment, and that's on top of what I do over here on this channel as far as producing content and doing videos like this one. But I really enjoy it. I like meeting people, and I like to think that I'm bringing smiles to some people across the world. Ghostmaster1 wants to know, how many listeners every week does PIRN have? Well, I wish I could tell you. I don't get statistics that detailed. Unfortunately, Live 365 does not provide a unique IP address statistic, which would be very helpful for me in trying to determine how many listeners I actually have during a given day. Now, I did look at the statistics for the first week of August, and it looks like I had 687 streams for a total of 324 hours and 5 minutes. So that should give you some idea. And also look at the country list I posted on video 3. Like I said, I wish I had some more detailed statistics. Unique IP addresses would be useful, but I don't have it. Ghostmaster has another couple questions. One, he asks, are you going to import the new Heart Gold, Soul Silver games from Japan, or wait until they're released in the US? Well, the games themselves, I'll probably wait until they get released in the US, which presumably will be sometime next year. But presumably they're coming out with a CD set of the remixed, DSized songs like they did for Fire Red and Leaf Green on the Game Boy Advance. And I'll be importing those once those come out, probably later this year, although nothing's been announced. So I will be importing the soundtrack, but I'll be waiting for the games to actually come out here. And Ghostman says, one last question. Do you have any cards artwork you really like? Well, that might be a subject for another mailbag, but I don't know if there's one I really like. I do like a lot of them. They're actually very good. I like the fact that we have a large number of styles, be it CGI or hand-drawn or clay or I don't know what you call it, those little paper cutouts they paste onto a background. It's sort of a pop-out art type stuff. We really get a good variety in cards. So yeah, next time you're looking at a pack of Pokemon cards, pay attention to the art. There's some really talented people who work there. So that pretty much does it for the mailbag for this session. I'll open up another request sometime, probably after I finish with editing and putting up all the world's videos I'm going to shoot over the next week. So once that happens, I'll let you know, and you can start sending some more questions in. Thanks.
This has been a PokePress Mailbag.